Hi, it's Dr. Fox, licensed psychologist in the state of Texas, and in this video, we're going to ask the question, is your BPD making you biased? Well, dealing with BPD is a challenge all its own. When we add the complexity of perceptual biases, the end result can be even more disheartening and severe. Now, in this video, we're going to discuss a perceptual bias called the availability heuristic. Now, if you follow my channel, you know I put one of those YouTube shorts out to see if folks wanted me to do it. A lot of folks wanted me to do it, so I'm doing it. So here we go. Now, the availability heuristic is a bias that is based on information you gather in the world around you, paired with easy recall of similar information that causes you to reach a false conclusion that you believe is 100% accurate and true. Now, you challenge this by being a tortoise and not a hare. We're going to break this down, and I'm going to help you challenge it to lessen its adverse impact on your perception and how it affects your BPD. So like, share, and subscribe, and let's get into it. First off, a heuristic is a rule of thumb. It's a mental shortcut we take to manage information. Now, our heuristics are not always right or wrong. The availability heuristic is a mental shortcut that is based on an example, information, or recent experience that is readily available to you in your mind. Even though it may not be the most accurate information in which to make your decision. So because you get this information, right, it pops in, it feels fresh, it feels intense, and you're like, oh, that's 100% right. Now the problem with this is you hold hard and true to the belief and decision, making the false belief that because you could recall an intense or recent memory easily, it must be true. Those with BPD often have loud and intense internal critics. The availability heuristic often reinforces those views of yourself that are false. For example, let's say your inner critic calls you dumb and worthless because you locked your keys in your car. This instance gives your BPD a prime opportunity to use the availability heuristic, which pops up and says, see, you're dumb and worthless. You locked your keys in your car. You respond by feeling shame, agreeing without resistance, and not considering that everyone locks their keys in their car at some point in time, and this is an easy fix, and in no way represents your ability to get through life. Now, your quick remembrance of the availability heuristic encourages that downward spiral, right? Sapping your energy to push back. You've become the hare. Remember that your BPD lies to you, and you believe it, all because of the malicious rule of thumb. Let's look at a relationship example because the availability heuristic impacts your relationships with others as well. So let's say you're in a long-term relationship, and your partner doesn't text you back when you expect it. Let's admit it. You expect it immediately, right? Sure. Well, we don't know why they didn't text you back. They just didn't. And you hold an internal belief that you're going to be abandoned and rejected. When you don't get the text, memories come flooding in of times when you felt or were abandoned and rejected. And this distorts your perception of the instance and your efficacy to control it. So you fall down the rabbit hole of self-hatred, fear, regret, and worthlessness. This happened because your brain pulled available information to justify your BPD core content, and now you have fresh memories that have a stronger impact than others due to potency and ease of recall. While you're in the hole, you have trouble recalling information to challenge this distortion, to remind yourself that your partner has been having trouble with their phone, right? There are no concrete signs of infidelity, and you feel close and connected to them by feeling trapped in the rabbit hole or dumb because of your keys. You grab onto and engage in those old maladaptive patterns of self-contempt and self-sabotage. We've been talking a lot about the hare. That fast moving, right, that availability heuristic gets you in that rabbit hole, gets you stuck. It's hard to get out. You get caught in that maladaptive pattern of self-hatred, shame, doubt, fear, all of that self-contempt. But let's talk about the tortoise, the solution to managing the bias that comes with the availability heuristic. Our brains work on two systems. System 1, which is the hare, fast and wily. Now this system takes shortcuts and overwhelms you. And System 2, that's the tortoise, slower and more deliberate, that takes in information and assesses it before embraces it. In example 1, with your keys, slow down and ride the tortoise. Be slow and steady. Recognize your frustration, but also remember that everyone locks their keys in their car and that it's an easy fix. It's not worth using the instance to define yourself. In the relationship example, slow down. Picture that rabbit hole, but this time, see yourself not going down it. The tortoise says your partner cares about you. Give them more time to respond. Or call them to check in on them. Don't chew them out. Breathe slow and easy, like the tortoise. I hope you found this video helpful. Leave comments about your tortoise and your hare and what you do to be slow and steady to win the race against BPD. It's a race you can win. Take care. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye-bye.